So in the previous video, I unboxed the best budget camera for 2020, but having a camera without a few lenses would be pointless. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the best budget lenses for you and your content creation. Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HomeofTech, where we review quality tech products on a budget. And today I'm going to be sharing with you the best budget lenses to help you create better content. So if you're new here, consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you won't miss any video. And if you haven't already seen my best budget camera video, I'll be linking it in the description below. Without further ado, let's get to it. So as you guys can see here, I have 7 lenses, including the one that's on the camera. But I'm gonna start by letting you guys know that the camera that I'm talking about, that I said, you know, was the budget camera, is the Canon M6 that I reviewed in my previous video. Here you can see it right here. But we're not here to talk about the camera, we're here to talk about the lenses. And the first lens that I want to talk about is the 75 to 300 millimeter EF lens. It's a Canon lens. It's a telephoto lens with a pretty long zoom. On the wide end, it's not so wide. 75 millimeter, in my opinion, is not really wide, but you know, it's good for if you're doing a lot of you know, photos and video work outdoors. And it has autofocus, as well as, you know, you can switch it to manual focus right here, as you can see. I don't know if the camera is gonna focus. Let's see. Yes, here you can see it, autofocus and manual focus. It's a pretty nice lens. It has a aperture of 4 to 5.6, which is not, you know, really great. It lets in a decent amount of light, not a lot of light compared to, say, the 24 millimeter that I have on my DSLR right now that I'm recording this video with, that I'll talk about in a little bit. But this lens is pretty good. I would recommend using this lens with a tripod because it doesn't have image stabilization, so you know you're gonna have a lot of shaky footage. So I would recommend that you use a tripod with this lens so you could keep the camera steady and, you know, minimize movement so you won't have any shaky footage, just in case you decide to record anything with this lens. So this lens is for $114 on Amazon. I will be linking all the lenses that I talk about in the description below. And as you can see, it has a, you know, pretty good size to it. Not, you know, really small, but I guess that makes up for, you know, the focal length of, you know, 75 to 300, which is, you know, a pretty good focal length. You could pretty much capture a lot of stuff that is, you know, far away. So that's, you know, that's good to know that you have something like this. And I think for a lens, you know, of this quality for $114, that's relatively cheap. So, you know, I think this is one of the lenses that you guys should definitely have. And as I said before, or I think I did mention it in my previous video, I have a Viltrox adapter. So these lenses are made for DSLR cameras, but I'm able to use them with my mirrorless camera, my mirrorless M6, because I have the Viltrox adapter. So, you know, I could pretty much connect all of these lenses to the camera with no issues whatsoever, and they work perfectly fine. So that's one of the things that you guys definitely need to have if you guys are picking up, you know, this mirrorless camera. I'm gonna move to the next lens. Let me cover this up first. So the next lens is one of the most versatile lenses that I've used, and it has made a, you know, a lot of difference when it comes to, you know, what I'm able to capture and what I'm not able to capture, because it has I would say a average or a good enough focal length, and at the wide end it's pretty wide in my opinion, because it's it's Canon 18 to 135 millimeter lens. It has autofocus as well as manual focus, and it also have image stabilization built in. So all that shaky footage that I was talking about with the 75 to 300 millimeter lens, you don't have to worry about it with this lens, because you know everything is pretty much stable. You could get good handheld footage with this lens, and you know you don't have to worry about, you know, stabilizing your footage in post or anything like that. You know, it also has this little lock that stop the lens from creeping. I don't know if you guys ever heard about lens creep. So it stopped the lens from creeping, from sliding, you know, back and forth. All you have to do, you know, is lock it. So see, I can pull the front of the lens out, and you can turn the zoom knob in order to have it, you know, zoom in and out. So that is something that, you know, you guys definitely, you know, should have with a lot of your lenses, and that's why I definitely picked up this lens. I bought it from Amazon. I think I paid $279 for it at the time of purchase because it was on sale, but presently it is for $299 on Amazon. And as I said, I'll be linking everything in the description below. The zoom ring is pretty nice. You don't struggle when using it. It's pretty smooth. The focus ring is smooth as well. I think it's a little smoother than the zoom ring, but I don't really use the focus ring a lot because I don't really use it. I don't really use the focus ring a lot because I always have, you know, the lens on autofocus. So I let the lens or the camera do the work for me instead of, you know, trying to pull manual focus. And for most of the time, I'm using this lens to record, you know, like sporting events or sports footage. So I really don't use the manual focus a lot, because when you're recording moving subjects, it makes no sense for you to, you know, use the manual focus. It's better to use autofocus. And in this day and age where technology is so advanced and we have, you know, dual pixel autofocus in these Canon cameras, it makes no sense to try to use, you know, manual focus when you could use the autofocus that's built into the camera. So I mean, I don't see the sense in that. I think you could pick up third-party lenses, or, you know, similar lens to this one from another company. I'm not sure which company as yet, but because I haven't really, like, you know, taken a chance to, you know, look up any other companies, because I always, you know, try to stick to like Canon products to use with my Canon camera. But I know there are other companies that, you know, make lenses like this, so you could definitely check out a few of them. I will look up a few and link them in the description below. So that's something that you guys could definitely check out if you're interested in, you know, checking out other companies that, you know, make lenses like this. So this lens is, I would say, a must-have if, you know, you're a beginner when it comes to, you know, YouTube or any form of content creation. So I think you guys definitely need to get, you know, the 18 to 135 lens. And the next lens is the 18 to 55, and this is a kit lens that came with my SL2 DSLR that I'm presently recording on. This lens is pretty good as well. It has, I think it has the same f4 to, I think f4 to 5.6 as the, f4 to 5.6. It's the same as the 18 to 135. I don't know if you guys could, you know, see it. It's written in there. So it's the same focal length, which I think is not the best, but you know, it's good enough to get the job done. For the most part, I always try to keep it at f4, you know, to let in as much light as possible. But you know, it all depends on you know, how much zoom you're using, or you know, if you're using that using it at the tele end or the wide end. So all that stuff, you know, plays a factor into, you know, the quality images or video that you get out of this lens. But it's relatively cheap. I think it's like $67 on Amazon, and if you have Prime shipping, you'll get it in a couple days. And that's the case with pretty much all the lenses that I have here. So this one, I think everyone should have this one for sure, because it's cheap, and with most cameras that you might purchase, you'll definitely get this as a kit lens. So, you know, that's something to note. Also, I forgot to mention that the 18 to 55 and the 75 to 300, it's I don't know if you can see it in here, it's a 58 millimeter, and that's, I'm talking about the circumference of the outer side, the outer part. I think this is where you're able to, you know, put attachments like a ND filter, or, you know, say an additional wide lens on it, because as I speak of that, I have 2 additional lenses that are, you know, this one here is a telephoto lens. It gives you an additional 2.2, you know, millimeter wideness in your lens, and I got these with my SL2 kit that I bought. I got 2 of them with it. I think they sell them on Amazon separately, but I got these 2, you know, with the kit, so I kept them. I think I've used the macro lens, because it's 2 of them. This is a telephoto. I've used this one a little bit more, which is the macro lens and wide angle. So in this, you know, configuration, it is a wide angle lens. So this is the one that I've used quite a few times, because when you attach this to, say, when you attach this to the 18 to 55, you know, it makes your shot a little bit wider. So you're able to connect it just like I have here, you know, get a little bit wider angle, you know, to get more people in your shot, or, you know, if you're recording landscape or whatever, you could get more in your shot. So that's something to note. Also, as you can see, there's another, you know, part that I could screw off, and when I remove this part, it becomes a macro lens, so I could get close-up shots of pretty much anything. Like, say I'm trying to get some shots of a plant or anything of that nature that is close. You know, you get good close-up shots with this, you know, little add-on. So that's something to note. You know, you guys could definitely pick up these 2 pieces as well from Amazon. I will link them in the description below. I'll definitely look them up for you guys and link them in the description below. And that's something that, you know, you guys definitely, you know, could add to your arsenal. So I'm gonna put these here. The next lens that I want to talk about is the one that's on the camera right now. I think if you guys are planning to do YouTube videos, you know, where you're recording in, say, a studio setting where you're recording yourself, I wouldn't so much say it's great for vlogging, but it's one of the best lenses that, you know, you could buy. It's the 24 millimeter f 2.8 lens, and you could get it on Amazon for $129, I think. Yeah, that's the price for it, $129. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the term bokeh, or I refer to it as background blur. It gives this, you know, this nice subtle look to all your videos or your pictures, because the f-stop is lower, so it lets in a lot more light. So, you know, if I stick my hand in front of the camera, you can see everything behind it, you know, is blurred compared to if I move my hand, the camera is focusing directly on my face and everything behind me is a little bit more blurred. So that gives a really good look to your YouTube video. So that's one of the reasons why I pick up this 24mm lens, and it's been doing good so far. I'm able to use it, as I said, with the Viltrox adapter and my M6, and I'm also able to use it, you know, with the SL2 that I'm recording with right now. It has autofocus. There's no zoom, it's just the fixed focal point of 24mm. So that's something that you guys need to take into consideration. If you don't mind having a fixed focal point, then that's gonna be good enough for you. If not, you know, it would be best if you pick up something like a 10-18, or you know, one of those lenses that would work better for you in case you want to zoom in and out. Also, I want to mention another lens before I move to this bonus piece that I have here, and that is they call it the Nifty 50. It's a 55 fixed focal length lens that you could pretty much use for your YouTube videos as well. It's a f1.4 lens that gives you even better background blur than the 24mm, but it's more on the tele end, so it's not as wide as the 24mm, but 50mm, you know, you guys could tell based on the number that it's gonna be, you know, a little bit more, you know, cropped in because it's 50mm compared to 24mm. But it gives you better background blur, or better bokeh, as you know, everyone calls it. And you could pick that up for, how much is that one again? I'm not so sure, but I will link everything in the description below, including the Nifty 50. But the bonus piece that I think everybody should get, as long as you're, you know, into whether it's photography or videography, or if you're just even doing YouTube videos, I think you guys need to get a few ND filters. I have 3 of them here that I got with the package that I bought my SL2 in, and you know, they have been, you know, working wonders for me, because especially when you go outside and it's, you know, it's pretty bright out there, these act like sunglasses for your camera lens. And this one is CPL, is a CPL lens. You're able to turn this little wheel right here. I don't know if I could get it into focus. You're able to turn this little wheel and adjust, you know, the amount of light that is let into the camera. But yeah, I have, you know, 3 of them in here. I have this smaller one, which is a UV ND filter, and this one is a fluorescent, and this one here is a Polaroid. So it's 3 of them that came with the camera, and they're made by this company called Focus. They seem to make good camera products, because they're the ones who made this lens that I have right here, which is the macro and wide angle. So they seem to make good camera products, so you could definitely, you know, check them out. But as I said, everything that I talk about here, I will be linking them in the description below, so you guys could check it out. You know, if you see anything that you like, I don't mind you guys purchasing it using the links that I provide, because it does help, you know, the channel. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave your comments, you know, in the comment box below. And until next time, guys, it's your boy Ren here with HomeofTech. Peace.